Hello everyone, right, welcome to something a little bit different. Essentially, what I'm going to do here, I've got a load of things to talk about. Don't really bloody know how to do intros, never have. But I am going to talk about the main talking points, if you will, if that's even a thing, from WWE this week, or the things that I found most interesting, and then I'm going to basically ask you guys how you felt about it, and we'll see if we can get like a conversation going. And just to see if any opinions differentiate from mine. Now, the thing is, I've often been told, just maybe as often as I've been told positive things, but I've often been told I am too negative about WWE or I'm too cynical. Probably want to start off by saying that really and truthfully, that probably comes from like years of disappointment and probably watching it when you was a kid, when in my opinion, even though the wrestling wasn't probably as good as it is now, the storylines and the oomph of the show was definitely was definitely a lot better. With that being said, I do have a couple of friends who also watch wrestling, and one of them doesn't even stay up really to watch Raw anymore. Like he might like whack it on record. Like he'll fast forward through it on Sky Plus or whatever, and then like he'll watch like maybe the important segments. Like he'll watch a Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch segment, or he'll watch like Batista returning or something, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. My argument to that is that when you record it and you don't watch it live, on the off chance that something amazing happens, especially around WrestleMania season, you're more prone to missing perhaps, something that would be like, wow. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. With that being said, and I do want to be genuine about this, I've also got another friend who is far more casual in his watching of the shows, and he will often talk to me, and he'll be like a couple of days or about a week behind the curveball, right? A week behind a week behind the curve is what I'm going to say. And the worst part is, back in the day, right? I would argue, even as like not as far back, but even as recently as like 2007 or 2006, like you couldn't really miss a week of Raw because there'd either be a stipulation added to a match, someone would have turned heel, someone would have come back or something like that. Especially back in the Attitude Era, you couldn't have missed it. But now I've done it myself before, where like personal commitments and real life problems have come up and reared their head. So basically, I've not been able to do YouTube videos, and I've literally not been able to watch wrestling. There have been times when I've missed Raw for like 3 or 4 consecutive weeks, and I've come back and nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. Like there's no impetus to watch. But with that being said, that was my brief explanation on why perhaps I'm a bit cynical, a bit perhaps negative, I'm trying to be more positive about wrestling, and I'm hoping by perhaps doing this mini series, this kind of videos a little bit more often. And bloody hell, this really does make me realize I need a haircut. But perhaps doing this would perhaps have you guys encourage me to be a little bit more positive about the product, right? So while we're talking about positivity, and this is going to be a complete, clusterfuck in terms of like, structure and what's not and whatnot. So I'm just going to talk about something and then go on to the next thing, whatever. But Roman Reigns returning, it looks like to full competitive action, considering he got physically involved later in the night. I've got to be honest. Like that's wow. I mean, what can you say? What can you say about that? that is just, this should be the easiest thing to talk about on this little mini segment thing, but you can't really say anything about it. Fantastic news. Anyone that, on a human level, like I was one of the people, and I still am. I don't like the Roman Reigns character. I don't like what he represents, in terms of character and being pushed and his booking and stuff like that. But honest to God, he's back. He comes out, rapturous applause, massive pop, as it should be. And he announces basically that he's in remission. He's getting better. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but essentially he's good to go and he's back. And it looks like they're setting up some kind of a mini Shield reunion at Fastlane or something. I mean, that angle's kind of been done to death, but to be honest, it's not about the angle. It's not about, Roman Reigns could Roman Reigns could Superman punch, I don't know, who's a beloved babyface that's not Becky Lynch. He probably could even Superman punch Becky Lynch, to be honest. But okay, he could bloody Superman punch Bayley at the minute and he'd get cheered. And so, just gotta say it, man. Like, it's very, very good that Roman Reigns is back. I'm trying to put into words how emotional that was. I mean, it's a very real person coming back from a very, very real illness. So that's fantastic, to be honest. Like, Jesus Christ, even talking about it now, you get a little bit choked up, man, because like this is a man. He has a wife. He has kids. Kid, daughter. A mum. I believe his mum was there. Like, that's just fucking. It is what it is, man. And obviously, it's great to see the man himself back in. Well, hopefully, back in good health. That's amazing. On to. Fucking. Sorry, Jesus Christ. That's really fucking. No, just thinking about it, man. Like, damn, he came back in like 3 months as well. That's really damn good. Hopefully, we'll get a decent spot at WrestleMania. But yeah, on to various reports are saying, right, and this is weird. I don't know how I've just gone from Roman Reigns to this, but I kind of think it's lighthearted in a way. On to reports that Lacey Evans. Yes, Lacey Evans, who we've barely seen any of, who I'm actually a fan of. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck she's done to impress me, but there's something about the gimmick that I find funny, right? But apparently they're positioning her to perhaps take over from Ronda Rousey in the sense that she can be a top competitor. And at the moment, she is one of 4 potential title challenges, I believe, for WrestleMania against Asuka. I mean, I feel like they were thinking of Mandy Rose, possibly Sonya Deville, and I think Naomi was here, right? They think Naomi was in there as well. Now, judging by what we found out since the initial reports came out, right, is that they having Mandy Rose face her at Fastlane. So Mandy Rose is facing her at Fastlane, right? So I guess that means that someone else is going to face her at WrestleMania. I mean, there's a tweet here from WrestleVotes, right? And it's a very reliable source, man. WrestleVotes is like the one, in my opinion. Like, constantly consistent news and constantly actual, there's substance behind it. A lot of things come true. But it says here, been getting a ton of Asuka-related questions as far as I know. They do have a plan for Mania. Just wasn't wise for Asuka to be featured on the last few weeks of WWE. WWE he doesn't want excessive brand jumping prior to WrestleMania, leaving only Lana or Vega for Chamber. That's not a pay-per-view match WWE wanted. Right, that was a tweet from about 2 weeks ago on the 13th of February, right? So that literally just tells me that they have no faith in their SmackDown Women's division. But then, since then, and this is not by WrestleVotes, personally, I have heard, and I've seen rumblings around the internet, I forget from who in particular, but essentially, you have the whole deal where it's hard to explain, but it's just who do they put in? And then you see that report where, you know, they're thinking about Lacey Evans being the next. They say they want her in the Ronda Rousey spot, which is like the weirdest thing ever. Like, I mean, I have no reason to disbelieve this, because apparently that's another thing. Ronda Rousey is leaving after WrestleMania 35. Apparently, allegedly, I don't know. Take that with a pinch of salt. So yeah, Asuka, again, she didn't appear on SmackDown this week. Don't know why. Don't know what the hell is going on. But there you go. But on to something that did happen on Raw this week, or someone that did appear. And this was kind of weird to me, right? And I'm just going to come out and say it, right? Batista returning as a heel, a lot of people love. I'm not against it. I will just say one thing, right? It kind of weirds me out, or it triggers me just a teensy little bit, that he was a babyface of sorts when they met up at SmackDown 1000, right? Was it 1000? Why? Or was it the 10-year anniversary shot? Either way, I think it was SmackDown 1000, right? Evolution was there, and basically Batista and Ric Flair, Randy, Triple H were all in the ring, and it was all calm and that. And then, as we know, Triple H injured. I think it was his pectoral in that, I'm sorry to say, in that god-awful match with The Undertaker and Kane, with Shawn Michaels in Saudi Arabia. So initially, for the longest time, it looked like WWE had that Batista WrestleMania match ruled out. Like that was basically it. It was finished, finito. Do you know what I mean? So potentially that was that, and it was done, and it was finished, right? But evidently Triple H is healthy enough, and they're good to go. Batista's a heel, which to me doesn't make sense considering he's got a movie coming out, and I believe he's got a movie coming out around that time, and yeah. But we'll see how this goes. He made his return by basically, I would say, interrupting the party, but the party didn't even get started for Ric Flair. This man, Batista, beat him up and literally dragged his ass out of his locker room, and that was pretty much it. Triple H ran back, and Ric Flair was out. He was KO'd, and Batista basically, before then, he basically looked into the camera and said, "Have I got your attention now? Like, that's it. We're having a WrestleMania match." So that looks like it's going to be an awesome setup. I mean, to be honest, it says, and this is where cynical Luke comes out to play. This is where negative Luke comes out to play. Like, I'm looking forward to the match. Please don't get me wrong. Please, I am. But it says a lot when WWE's main attractions for their WrestleMania match is a WrestleMania main event of what, 14 years ago now? Probably what, 2005, 14 years ago. Wow, Jesus Christ. I remember being, younger, a lot younger, when I thought that match was the bee's knees. And you know what? It could still be, because, provided Triple H is healthy, he could still go. Batista could probably still go. That's going to be a great matchup. Again, the Raw Women's Championships, because they're on Raw, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships apparently are going to be defended on SmackDown, Raw, and I almost said ECW, for crying out loud, and NXT. The situation with that is Bayley and Sasha, they will go across brands and defend them. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they should, because they can't have a Raw Women's Tag Team title belt and a SmackDown Women's Tag Team belt That's pretty much, it's not. It's just not. It's not on, is it really? When you consider that, well, pretty much the women's roster or the women's division, whatever you want to call it, is not. It's not really big enough, is it? Like, there's not enough about it to be like, wow. That makes me really feel like there can be loads of people. But imagine the matches we can get, like Kairi Sane and Io Shirai versus Sasha and Bayley. Fucking hell, you can get so many. You can get bloody the icon. I like the Iconics, man. I know a lot of people don't, but yeah, I don't know what their WrestleMania plans are yet. I've not heard anything, but potentially it wouldn't surprise me if they did the Iconics, Nia and Tamina, and a team from NXT. Really, I mean, WWE loves to have at least one or two multi-man matches at WrestleMania, so potentially that will be that. So, two surprise returns as well this week on SmackDown Live, right? You had Kevin Owens come back, and dude, first and foremost, WWE, man, they love to copy and paste anything from one of their storylines to another. Basically, Kofi Kingston came out. He was going to sign his contract with Daniel Bryan. It was all good to go. And then Vince McMahon came out and basically just said, Kofi, you're not a big enough attraction. It's my job to basically put on the best matches for ratings or whatever the hell else. Here's my guy. Here is the guy, Kevin Owens. Everyone, please ignore that he headbutted me probably about a year ago, maybe even less. And yeah, then he frog splashed me, and then like he beat up my son in a Hell in a Cell match. Let's just ignore that. Let's bloody ignore everything. My guy, Kevin Owens. And the weirdest thing is about all this, and don't get me wrong, I wanted to see this for a long time, so I'm not complaining. But Kevin Owens is a babyface. Or so it would seem at the minute. Because he asked to team with Kofi Kingston later on in the night. He was basically like, yeah, Kofi deserves this shot as well. He'll be the next in line or whatever. That seemed like along the lines of what he was saying. But by God, man. Like, I don't get it. Poor Kofi Kingston. Now, obviously, spoilers. Well, I say spoilers. Opinionated spoilers coming up. I personally think that Kofi Kingston is going to be in the WrestleMania match. Maybe it'll be a triple threat. Maybe it'll be a one-on-one with Daniel Bryan. You know what? Why not? Why not give the belt to Kofi? I'm a big fan of riding momentum. Like, if a superstar is hot, chuck the belt on them and see how far they can go. That's my honest opinion, really. Like, because only by doing that are you going to find out, like, if it's a flash in the pan or whether, like, it's something real. I mean, imagine if they would have like kept booking Zack Ryder strong after he initially got over in 2011, right? Stuff like that. The Hardy Boys also returned. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, I believe, were meant to be the opponents, but for some reason that got scrapped. Matt and Jeff Hardy. Matt's not in his broken gimmick anymore, which is a bit surprising. He looks like he's like a mixture of all his gimmicks. Matt Hardy V1, Team Extreme Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy, and broken Matt Hardy, so to speak. Like, he's still doing all of his delete mannerisms and stuff like that. So maybe you can call him Ultimate Matt Hardy. I'm gonna sneeze my nose off in a minute. Jesus Christ! Right, no sign of Bray Wyatt yet. No sign of Bray Wyatt yet at all, which is disappointing because me personally, I was hoping, man, that Bray Wyatt would be the number one contender, man. And I was hoping he would face Daniel Bryan, man. But alas, he didn't. Or at least he hasn't yet. So that's pretty much that. Mandy Rose, I should say, I think I've already mentioned, Mandy Rose and Asuka have been announced for a match at Fastlane. Yeah, there was no time on TV for that because we don't care enough about our SmackDown Women's Championship. But, we could have loads of other random silly stuff on SmackDown, but we can't have enough for that. KO and Daniel Bryan won their main event, by the way. Kevin Owens didn't turn heel on freaking Kofi Kingston yet. He also finished the match with a stunner. Forgot to mention that earlier. Told you guys the structure of this wouldn't be so good. Let's talk about just the there's an old saying, you save the best for last, because I believe this is the best storyline in WWE at the minute, right? Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey with a little bit of Charlotte Flair on the side. Now, this is actually what my new series will be based around, so give me some time. I'm working on it. I'm trying my best, right? I really am. But for me, this is getting hotter and hotter every week, right? It really, really, really is. And it's just because Becky Lynch is so damn good at her job that I'm not denying Ronda Rousey is good. I'm really not. Like, I feel like she is fucking amazing for what she is. A rookie, let's be honest. She is amazing. But I honestly believe Becky Lynch was the spanner in the works of WWE's plan. She was never meant to be anywhere near this main event. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte would be good. But dude, man, in a parallel universe, this is what I mean. Let's feel sorry for people for a minute, because in a parallel universe somewhere, they're getting just your standard Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. I'm more genetically superior than you are. I fucking am my father's fucking daughter or whatever, and then she's trained every day for the last 8 years or whatever. She's that kind of feud. Like, I'm more athletic than you. I'm the more technically gifted and genetically superior athlete. Because let's face it, that's what would probably be along the lines or the basis of the feud, right? For them to. Let's just feel sorry, because in a parallel universe, there are people that are getting that. Just saying that. There's also a parallel universe where the streak wasn't broken either. But again, I need to let go. It's been 5 years. It's been almost 5 years. So damn, I can't let go. Do you notice how I've not mentioned Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins really at all this week? Or I say this week, but I've not mentioned them hardly at all in this review or this discussion of sorts. Yeah, man. If you guys are wondering, Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion, don't turn up. Seth Rollins got no feud to build with. Maybe Paul Heyman turned up. I'll be completely honest. I can't remember anything about Seth Rollins this week. Like, I actually re-watched the show a couple of hours before making this video as well. So, say what you want or say what you will. But yeah, Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Becky came in, typical Stone Cold Steve Austin style, the hottest act in the company by far. Basically, she got carted away, man. She got carted away by the police. Becky Lynch is in jail. Didn't turn up on SmackDown. Sadly, all we got is a mundane Charlotte Flair promo. I mean, Charlotte's good at promos, man, but her heel promos are just like the same kind of thing, aren't they? But, a basic Charlotte Flair promo at the end of the day is a good Charlotte Flair promo. So I'm not going to rag on it. On Raw, I told you, structure is not my strong point. But on Raw, Ronda Rousey, she bloody basically said, right, that's it. If I'm not defending the belt against Becky Lynch, I'm not going to defend it at all. She puts the belt down in front of Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Then are seen backstage with the belt. So right now, technically, we don't know what the fuck's going on with the belt. And I suppose uncertainty is greatness in a way. Uncertainty is good, or any publicity is good publicity, or something like that. Well, I do want to say this. There was beef going on Twitter, and I say beef, but there's some kind of spat, man, going on at the minute. I swear to God. Like, right as I'm recording this, there's some shit going down, man. Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch going back and forth. So Becky started this off, right? She goes, Ronda, you go back and get that belt because I didn't come this far to collect it from Stephanie. I came all this way to take it from you. Ronda replies, that's what I'm trying to do, dumbass. You hobbling around trying to be a ginger crutch ninja, taking fake prison photos in the hallways and helping. Becky Lynch replies, keep the F word out of your mouth and concentrate on getting better at this business instead of trying to remain above it. Look forward to seeing you real soon. Then Ronda says, F word, you mean fake? Look at your nonsensical bullshit armbar that doesn't even work and just like you're holding the dick you wish you had. Okay. Oh, so is that her husband? It might. I don't know. I don't know who that dude is. Is that? I think that might be right. So then Becky Lynch posted a picture of her doing the disarmer, right? And it's basically got someone's head where Ronda's hand should be, and it says Becky Lynch says it does exactly look like a dick. Okay, so damn, I think that's her husband, dude. And then basically she just replies, I don't care what the script says. I'm beating the living shit out of you next time I see you. Okay, well, dude, you know what? Becky Lynch just constantly KOs this woman on Twitter, and it's not even funny because that was impromptu. I literally just saw this. I was about to end off the review now, or the conversation, if you will, and I was gonna end this off now and just say, right, that's it. I've covered everything that I feel like I want to cover. And damn, I see that Becky Lynch has just Twitter KO'd Ronda Rousey again. Bro, Becky Lynch's Twitter game is worse than my haircut. Look at this like spot I have on my head or whatever, or this rash. That is worse. Ronda Rousey's fucking Twitter game. I'm the man. I'll tell you what, the man even got me flustered. What the hell is going on? That is just that is a Twitter KO, man. Jesus Christ. That is an absolute KO. I don't even know what to say. I had like legit an ending sequence all planned out, like how I was going to like end this fucking video. But I'm done. I am flustered. I can't say anything. Oh my God. This man has basically just ended Ronda Rousey's Twitter career, if not her WWE career, man. And I don't know if this is a work. I don't know if she's, half and half. I don't know if Ronda Rousey's working herself into a shoot. But by God, man, Becky Lynch just kills. Just kills. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Wow. Dude, man, I can't believe someone literally tells Ronda Rousey that these are a good idea to tweet out. Jesus Christ. Like, I legit just saw that, right? And my first thoughts after I read them was, I really wouldn't want to get into a Twitter battle with Becky Lynch. Anyway, guys, I'm so sorry that this video kind of went into nonsensical rambling mode in the end. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I will have a video up tomorrow at some point. I'm just really trying to get everything sorted, like with this new setup, right? I've got a new mic, getting a new camera, that's on the way, and it's kind of hard, like, because you don't want to start a series off, with loads of old equipment and then like lose the feel of it when you have to change over to the new equipment. Plus, I'm excited about it. I want it to be at its best. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching this. Damn, I was not expecting for Becky Lynch. Not only has she ruined Ronda Rousey's Twitter game or Twitter career, she's probably ruined this video as well, because that flustered me to hell. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.